Yes, sir. It's good to go. We can.
Yeah, definitely. We can start now. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I need to give my little introduction. My name is Sanjay Sharma, and I have almost 30 years of experience in the field of IT. And for last 10 years, I'm into cloud computing because cloud computing is a new field. And I was working with Tata Honeywell earlier, and then I worked with NIT Limited as a project manager. I worked with CDAC, I worked with Red Hat. So I have a vast experience. I have a very solid background in IT as well as in networking and in support. So these days I'm into the corporate trainings. I'm providing a training to the corporate clients and just like you, right? So we need to start here. The first of all, actually, this course is designed for the newcomers. The first of all, means when you start your journey in a cloud computer, we have many multiple cloud environment. Like let's say the AWS, right? AWS is a cloud provider. Then Azure is a cloud provider. GCP is a cloud provider. But generally, people are asking, sir, why we should basically start our journey with the AWS? There is a basically big reason. The reason is AWS is number one in terms of AWS global infrastructure. AWS is number one in terms of services. More than 200 main services you can see in AWS. And if you count major and minor services, more than 1,500 services are there in AWS. And AWS is the oldest platform. And not only this, AWS also is providing 1 year free tier account to practice if you are preparing for certification, if you need to learn AWS. AWS is really supporting you. AWS is really supporting you. Right. So that's why. And today, basically, we need to start with the AWS and cloud concepts. So we need to start with the AWS and cloud concept, which is almost equivalent to AWS practitioner level of certification. Now, sometimes what happens, let's say you are new for cloud computing, you don't know whether you need to means pursue your journey in this or not, or to make little interest in this. I think the first certification AWS shows it's a basically cloud practitioner. So we will do the cloud practitioner in this week. We need to cover in this cloud practitioner in 8 hours study. So we cover actually. So almost 1 hour or one hour 50 minutes or 30 minutes we will give on a daily basis to complete this training. So what is the agenda of the day? This is the very straight and very clear agenda you can see. So I will start with what is introduction. With the first, I will start with the introduction to AWS and cloud concepts. What is the cloud computing? I'll start with what is the cloud computing, because if you are new with the cloud computing, you should have a little idea about the cloud computing and what are the benefit of the cloud computing, because we already have a data centers, big companies having their own data centers. But why we are focusing over the cloud? Because there are the many challenges when you means maintain or manage your own data center that you don't see in cloud computing. So we will discuss about the benefits of cloud computing and AWS overview and global infrastructure. Means we'll discuss what exactly AWS is providing in terms of the global infrastructure and the shared responsibilities between AWS and customer. So this is the agenda. Let me see how much time we will take. But first is, I think we should start with the cloud computing. What is the cloud computing? So I'll share all these documents with you. You have not to worry about this. I have PPTs, I have diagrams, I have multiple things. Today, basically, is a conceptual class. We will learn about the cloud computing first. So
Hey
first
guys,
of
one
all,
more thing. Sorry, sir. Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt you. So, guys, this is going to be a AWS master program, and starting from practitioner, then we have a associate, then we have a advanced networking, and the last module is AWS advanced security. So this is going to be a 6 month program, including live training and lab access, what we are offering to our people who is gonna join this particular master program. That's it, sir. Yeah, you can.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, dear. Now, what is the cloud computing? In order to understand the cloud computing concept, you can understand. We can take a very simple scenario. Let's say you want to travel from one place to another place. Just understand, you need to travel from one place to another place. So, what you generally hire? You generally hire a taxi, or you can own your own car, right? Let's say you have your own car. So there is a basically difference between if you are hiring a taxi or if you have your own car. If you have your own car, it means you have to purchase the car first of all. It means you have to invest a lot of money to purchase a car. Number one. Number two, you need a driver to drive that particular. Second. Third, you are responsible for the maintenance of this car, right? You are responsible for the maintenance of the car. Fourth, uh, you need a space to park your car. So I'm telling you a very simple thing. So definitely it's a basically hectic thing in a city like Delhi, Mumbai, or very crowded city. So means how to maintain it. And another way we have, you can hire a taxi from Ola or Uber. You can simply hire a taxi. You pay 200 rupee, 300 rupee to reach your destination. And that's all. You have not to worry about driver. You have not to worry about how to buy a car, where to park the car, how to basically maintain the car. So this is the one. The first thing in first case, you were basically purchasing the car. The first of all. In second case, you were hiring the car. So you can compare the hiring the car is very equivalent to the cloud computing. Because let's say what happened, you want to deploy your application. You have an application. You want to run a business, right? And you need to deploy an application on some server. So in order to run application, in order to run your business, the first thing is you should have your own infrastructure. The first of all, you need to invest in the infrastructure, and then you need a team to manage that infrastructure. You need a space to um, uh, establish that infrastructure. So it is basically huge. It means expensive. This is expensive. The second thing is these days public cloud platform is available. You simply just create your account and create your server and start your business. And if it is not needed, you can stop actually your resources. So if you run your resources, you will pay money to that cloud provider. And if you stop your resources, you will not pay for the resources. This is really good actually, right? Because you are not going to maintain data center, you are not going to maintain storages, you are not going to maintain basically the people who will manage actually this data center. So that's why the cloud computing is becoming popular. But what is a cloud computing? What cloud computing does? So cloud computing by definition refers to on-demand delivery of IT resources. What are the IT resources? I will tell you. So delivery of hosted services over the internet is termed as cloud computing. Means what type of a hosted services you can have with the cloud computing. So I did write actually the hosted services here. So I'll not take much time. I'll share all these documents and the notes with you. These are really very good notes. So first of all, what are the hosted services? What kind of a services you are going to get? And number one, you can create your server. So that comes under the infrastructure as a service. Secondly, you can create your network in cloud computing, right? You can create your virtual network, you can create your virtual machine, you can run your program. So we have some services in AWS. I'm talking about AWS right now. Yeah, okay. So means if you want to do anything in AWS, we have a service for everything. You want to create a server, We have a service. You want to create a network? We have a service. You want to manage your DNS? We have a service. You want to manage your storage? We have a service. For every purpose, we have a service in AWS, right? So what are the hosted services? What type of things you are going to get? The first is infrastructure as a service, such as EC2, VPC, Lambda. These are the name of the services in AWS. EC2 stand for Elastic Compute Cloud. VPC is a virtual private cloud. Lambda is a function. So means we have a compute services, we have a storage services, we have a network services in infrastructure as a service that comes under the hosted services. Means what exactly cloud computing is providing, what you will do with the cloud computing, right? This is very important. So I need to just start a server. Yeah, that comes under the infrastructure. I need to create a network, and then I will launch a server inside the network. Right. Then we have a platform as a service. Let's say you are a developer. Just assume you are a developer and you have an application, but you don't know how to start the servers in cloud computing. You don't know how to create infrastructure in cloud computing, but you have an application, you need to deploy it. So we have basically the services in cloud computing, which is known as a platform as a service. And we have a service called the Elastic Beanstalk. You just deliver your service, you deliver your application to the Elastic Beanstalk. Elastic Beanstalk will automatically create a server for you. This is incredible that you don't see in your private data center, right? That you don't see in a private data center. So then we have a software as a service. You know the what is a software as a service? Like very simple these days, you are using Gmail, right? Gmail is very popular everywhere. Gmail and Google Drive, Google Workspace, Office 365. These are the basically some uh, services cloud computing is providing. In this, you do not have to install any software in your computer. You can just open the browser. You can just open the browser and simply start. You can simply use actually these softwares. For Gmail, you don't install any software. For Office 365, you don't install anything. You directly start using these applications. So such kind of things are known as software as a service. Similarly, we have a function as a service, which is a serverless computing. So yeah.
तो आपने भी कभी भी बोला था कि आप
Okay. So we have a storage as a service. We have a multiple storage. The cloud storage is available. We have a security services. We have a disaster recovery services. So database services, networking services, and artificial intelligence and machine learning services. So all these basically comes under hosted services. So we have more than 200 services in AWS, right? So if you see, we will talk about what is the cloud computing. I think this is clear. So simply, if somebody is asking what is the cloud computing, you can create your servers, you can manage your network, you can create your network, you can manage your storages, and for that you don't need your private data center, right? You are not responsible to maintain the data center. AWS will manage those data center. You simply just log in into that and start using it. So this is an incredible thing. So your workload has been decreased. Now, what are the benefits of the cloud computing? See, this is basically the traditional data center. Oh my God. If you create your own data center, you manage it, you just understand how many people, how many skilled people are required to manage your data center, right? You need a servers, you need storage systems, you need networking equipment like switches, routers, firewalls, you need a power systems, you need a UPS, means uninterruptible power supplies, you need a cooling system to regulate the temperature, and you need a security systems, both surveillance cameras, access control, and digital firewall encryption, right? And not only this, you need a monitoring and a management tools. So, and for that, you need a big team to manage your data center. Okay, and it is really very, very expensive. It is not good for small businesses. Yeah, of course, if you are a fintech company, if you are a big bank, or if you are a company like the TCS or Wipro or Google, then it's fine. You should have your own data center. That's fine. But for everyone, it is not feasible to just create and manage data center. It is really expensive. So this is a traditional data center, and this is a picture of one sophisticated modern data center. In this, you don't see that junk of wires, connectivity, everything is very well connected. But still, the efforts will remain same. You need a network engineer, you need a server engineers, you need a every server engineers like application server engineer, web server engineer, DNS server engineer, you need a firewall engineers, you need a database engineer, storage engineers, definitely. And not only this, you the big thing is you need a big space and you need a energy. Energy means power supply, redundant power supply. If one power supply fails, you should have an alternate power supply. So it is really, really $1 million project. This is a very, very expensive. It is not good for medium-sized businesses and small-size businesses. This is only feasible for very big-sized businesses. If you already have $1 billion or million dollar business, you can create your own data center. But if you are a medium-sized businessman or small-sized businessman, so it means this is not a good idea to have your own data center. So in that case, your aid means public cloud will work. And these are the challenges to manage your own data center. Means what will happen if you create your own data center? What type of a challenges you will have, right? Just understand. So see, this is, I did write, I will share all these notes, please. Again, I'm just saying, first of all, you need a high initial and ongoing cost. Means if you want to create your own data center, you need a very high investment cost, which is known as a capital expenditure, or sometimes we call it as a capex. To set up your own data center, you need a significant investment in hardware, software, networking equipment, software power, or sorry, power supply, cooling system, and physical space. Building also is needed, right? Space also is needed. Secondly, the operational cost. Definitely, the operation cost will also occurs if you want to use your data center, which is continuous cost, including the electricity, cooling, maintenance, and the staff salaries. The staff salaries means you need to provide a staff salaries. Secondly, you need a complex infrastructure management. The first of all, the hardware management. Hardware management, you need to track the server storage, networking devices, and ensuring they are functioning properly in a complex task. So you have to update your hardware time to time. You need a very updated hardware to run your data center. Software management also is needed. You need a software licenses, virtualization softwares, and other tools need the constant monitoring, patching, and upgrading. Secondly, the scaling challenges. Scaling challenges are very important. What are the scaling challenges? Let's say you are running a one server, and gradually on that server, the traffic is increasing. So that server is not sufficient to bear the load. So you need to scale up sometimes, right? So you need a multiple similar server to distribute the load. So it is really difficult actually in your own data center. You should have actually the resource with you to scale up. So if you do not have in advance to scale up, to scale, so that will give in a challenge, and that will take a time, and it is a time consuming as well as expensive. So this is a challenge actually if you need to scale. Secondly, you need a power and cooling requirement. The power and cooling requirement. So you need a continuous power supply. Energy consumption. Data centers consumes a vast amount of electricity to run your servers, equipments, everything. And you need a cooling, the cooling, actually the mechanism. You need a cooling mechanism like heat and ventilation, air conditioning system you need, which also is a very, very expensive. And you have to take care of all these things, you know. Second is security. Security of your data center means you need to secure your data center in two ways. Number one, you need a physical security. It means you need to protect your data center from unauthorized physical access. Means nobody should enter into the data center. So you should provide a physical access to the data center. And the second is cyber security. Thus, someone should not attack on your data center. It means you need to protect against the cyber threats such as the malware attack or hacking or data breaching activities. So you need to protect actually your data center. So it is also is a basically challenging. And the second is the disaster recovery and business continuity. This is the most important actually. See, you have a one data center. Just understand you have a one data center. Okay, you have a one data center, and let's say your application is running on data center, and assume that data center goes down. What will happen? Let's say the entire data center goes down because of some technical reason. So it means your application is down, right? So it means you need a one more data center somewhere else in a different geographical location to provide a disaster recovery or business continuity or high availability. So this is very, very expensive. It means you need a one more data center in a different location to provide a high availability. So this thing is already available in your public cloud in AWS. Okay, I will tell you, miss, this is very important. So to maintain the disaster recovery, to maintain the business continuity in the single data center is very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. So these are some challenges. Not only this, the few more challenges are there. So like the compliance and regulatory issues are there, which is basically the governed by some organizations and some governed by some government agencies. And second is the skill requirement and staffing. You need a large and huge staff. You need a huge staff to manage your data center. You need a skilled professionals to maintain your data center, right? The environment, because if you run your data center, so there are carbon footprints of that particular data center, because data center emits a lot of heat and it needs a lot of energy. So which is not a good for environment, right? Second is the technological obsolescence. So rapid technology change basically needs a frequent change in your data center hardware. So time to time, in every 2 year time, in every 1 year time, if new technology comes, new hardware comes, so you will replace your existing hardware with the new hardware. It means you need to invest once again for the new hardware, and it's expensive, of course. Vendor and supply chain management, and sometimes let's say you are ready to upgrade your data center, but your vendor says that this hardware is not immediately available. You need to wait it for, let's say, 15 days time or 1 month time or 2 month time. So this kind of things can delay your upgradation or the changes in the data center. So these are some challenges, right? These are some challenges. So that's why we are not really interested to own our own data center. So in the public cloud, actually, these are the kind of the servers. These are the kind of the servers we generally launch in our data center. And if somebody is saying this is basically the blade server, and every 2 years you need to change the server, and every server is costing you, let's say, 10 lakhs rupee, 15 lakhs rupee, or 20 lakhs rupee. So you can understand the cost of your data center. And in one data center, you have 100, 200, maybe 500 servers are connected. Not only this, the storage is connected, routers, switches, cables, connectivity, firewalls. My goodness, this is huge. So I will not recommend actually. This is not a cost of my cost of my business. So this is here. This is a responsibility model. In the responsibility model, actually, I need to tell you means what AWS is. For example, AWS is your public cloud provider. AWS is what? AWS is your public cloud provider. And you are the customer. For example, you are using AWS. So what is your responsibility and what is the responsibility of AWS? So AWS says, I'm responsible for my AWS global infrastructure. AWS says, I'm responsible for my global infrastructure. It means I'm responsible for, AWS says, I'm responsible for region, I'm responsible for availability zone, I'm responsible for my data centers, I'm responsible for my compute resources, storages, databases, and network. So definitely these things you will use. I'm responsible for my services that I'm offering to you to use. And what is your responsibility as a customer? So your responsibility is the main thing, your data, because you are copying your data in AWS. So you are responsible. Why? Because you need to encrypt the data. You need to save the data. You need to provide the access of the data to someone to whom you are providing the access, right? You are giving the authorization to someone to access the data. You are providing the identity and access management control to access the data to someone. You are providing the access of your server to someone. So you are responsible for operating system configuration. You are responsible for network and firewall configuration, because AWS is providing firewall, but you are configuring that firewall. So it means you are responsible for that configuration, right? So AWS says, I'm providing a firewall. I have a firewall. So let's say you take this firewall and you can configure for your use. But ultimately what you are doing, you are configuring the firewall. So it means you are responsible for the firewall configuration. You are responsible for network configuration. You are responsible for operating system configuration. You are responsible for encryption, encryption of data. Let's say because you are transferring the data or you are storing the data. So you need to provide encryption. Correct? Not AWS will not provide the encryption. AWS is providing services to encrypt the data, but ultimately you have to encrypt the data. So you just understand what is your responsibility and what is the responsibility of AWS. Right? This is very, very important. So this I will share. Now we come to this point, AWS. Okay, guys, this is where uh, I'm here to understand why AWS. AWS is what? AWS is a, first of all, it's a public cloud platform. It's a public cloud platform like AWS, Azure, GCB, GCP, and Alibaba. Alibaba also is basically one cloud, which is a Chinese product, but it is working in some countries, in Eastern countries, it is working very well. But AWS is a global. AWS is number one because almost 30 to 36% belongs to the work belongs to AWS. The market share, I'm talking about the market share. 30 to 36% market share belongs to AWS. So sometimes people are asking, sir, why I should use AWS? So the simple thing is AWS is offering you more than 200 fully featured services for everything. And AWS is agile. Agile means the thing you need that you have. Let's say you want to create a server. Yes, you can create. You want to create a network. Yes, you can create. You need a security services. Yes, we have. You need a analytics services. Yes, we have. We need a media services. Yes, we have. We need IoT services. Yes, we have. So means everything you have in your AWS. And not only this, AWS is offering the biggest AWS cloud, global cloud infrastructure. The presence of cloud, AWS cloud, is the biggest one on this planet, right? So AWS is offering the biggest global cloud infrastructure. We have 38 regions and 117 availability zones. I will tell you what is region and what is availability zone. Region is just like geographical location, like Mumbai is a region, Hyderabad is a region, London is a region, and Tokyo is a region, North Virginia is a region, Ohio is a region. This way, total all around the world, as of now, 38 regions we have, right? And in every region, let's say this is your region, right? Let's say this is your region. Okay. Within the region, we have a multiple availability zone. AZ stand for availability zone. Availability zone is a group of data center. Let's say this green color is a data center. But how many data centers are there in one availability zone? This information is not shared among us. But in one availability zone, we have a multiple data centers, right? So what is availability zone? Availability zone is a grouping or logical grouping of the data center. So within a region, we have a multiple availability zone. But what is the use of the availability zone? Why we are grouping these data centers? The reason is very simple. Let me tell you. For example, let's say this is your server, right? Let's say you have two identical server in order to get the fault tolerance. You know what is the fault tolerance? Fault tolerance is the high availability. If one server is down, you should have another server to provide the business continuity. You should have basically another server to get the access. So what we are doing, we are launching one server in a one availability zone, and we are launching another server in another availability zone. So what will happen? Let's say if one availability zone goes down, let's say this availability zone goes down. For example, just assume this availability zone goes down. So it means the another availability zone is live and up. So it means you are still getting access from this application from the another server. It means you are getting the business continuity, you are getting the high availability. Still you are able to access your application from the another server. So that's why we are using availability zones. So in this region, we have three availabilities. So AWS is providing approximately three availability zone in every region, right? So how many total availability zones we have? We have 117 availabilities, and then we have a edge location. I will come on the edge location, right? What is edge location? And then we have a 140 direct connect, 42 local zone, and 29 wavelength zone. Oh my God. So this is huge, actually, right? This is huge. So this infrastructure is a huge, and it is live and running. AWS is providing these resources 24/7, right? Non-stop. Anytime you can open, anytime you can start your machine, anytime you can stop your machine, anytime you can create your infrastructure. And not only this, AWS is incredible. AWS is providing a free tier account for one entire year. Let's say you are a beginner, right? I don't know how many of you have AWS account. You can you tell me, just open the meeting chat and just let me know how many you have AWS account. Just write yes or no. I will tell you then. Just write yes or no in the meeting chat. Are you able to type it? Are you able to type it?
Yes.
You just write yes or no. I'm not able to see it here. Okay. So I don't see. Okay, good. So let's say you do not have AWS account as of you are a new, you are a fresher, you want to start your journey in AWS. So AWS is the only platform who offers you 1 year free account, which is known as a free tier, right? So the few things are free. Not everything is free. because some resources are really expensive. So what is free and what is not free, I will tell you, right? So when you start your business, when you start your account, but it offers you 1 year free access, 1 year, 12 months free access. So this much of free access is not provided by anyone, because if you open Azure, Azure gives you $200 credit. So you have to consume that $200 in a month time. In a month time, after a month time, AWS says to basically purchase a subscription, right? So after 1 month or 2 months, that becomes basically the paid account, right? But AWS is the only cloud platform which is available free of cost for 12 months. Not only this, AWS is providing high performance hardware in the data center. High performance hardware in the data center. So AWS is offering Intel Xeon family microprocessors in their data center. It means if you create a virtual machine, that virtual machine will have Intel Xeon family microprocessor. So means the speed, you can see you are running a server level of virtual machine, right? Because it's working on Intel Xeon family microprocessor. Not only this, deployment speed is very, very high. So when you launch your server or virtual machine in AWS, it hardly takes a few seconds. Let's say, for example, if you have your own data center, in your own data center, if you deploy a virtual machine, that will take approximately 20 to 30 minutes, right? Approximately 20 minutes. Let's say I'm not going much high, much less. 20 minutes. It will take average 20 minutes. But the same machine, if you are launching in AWS, in a few seconds, hardly 5 seconds, can you believe this? You cannot take a sip of tea. Before that, your machine is ready. And you have a large number of the security options in AWS. AWS is offering by default DDoS protection, DDoS protection for your resources that you run in AWS. And if you need to migrate over AWS, AWS is offering migration services. So that's why the migration also is easy over AWS. So these are few things actually we need to know about AWS. AWS. That's why you are selecting the AWS. Now we have number of things I have, but I'm just going to study here. I'm just going to teach here what is the AWS global infrastructure. Because when you're going to start AWS, you will talk about the global infrastructure, the presence of AWS. So AWS is available almost in every continent of this world. You can find in America, Latin America, Africa, Europe, Asia, and Australia, right? So if you see this diagram, if you see this map, right? So few dots are basically green and a few dots are red. The green dot says these are live and running regions. These dots are regions, right? These dots are regions. And red dots are saying these dots are under basically construction, and maybe these these has been activated. So because AWS is very speedy, so if you need to understand, let's say the updated information, you can write AWS global infrastructure. You just write AWS global infrastructure here. You simply just go to AWS global infrastructure. You will see here, right? You can just go a little down, right? You can see here we have, right? You can see. Can you see this is the North America? This is the North America, and you can see this is the North America. This is Europe, right? This is your Middle East. This is Asia. I can see in India, Mumbai and Hyderabad. So these are the eastern countries. You're going to see Asia Pacific, right? This is the Asia Pacific and Australia and New Zealand. This is the Australia and New Zealand. So these dots are basically regions. These dots are region, and has every region. So if somebody is saying what is a region? So you can say region is an independent and separate geographical location. What it is? It is a geographical location or geographic location, right? And within the region, we have at least 2 to 3 isolated locations. Within the region, we have 2 to 3 isolated locations, and these isolated locations are known as availability zone. Here, I can show you. This is your region. This is the region. Let's say I'm taking Mumbai region, and every region has one name or code. Let's say Mumbai is a AP South one, right? Let's say North Virginia is a US East one, right? So every region has its code. You have not to remember. You can do one thing. The first of all, you need to create an account. Let me show you. Let me just log in into my account. Let me log in into my account. I will go there. Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay. Go. A lot of scope is there actually. If you are good in cloud computing, this is the next generation. The means the companies are offering the jobs in the cloud computing, but the only thing is you should have a very good idea about the cloud. So that's why I can see because in the many company like Coforge, LTI Mindtree, TCS, Wipro, HCL, now these companies are offering actually the positions for the cloud providers, means the cloud users, or if you have a good knowledge, you can claim a job, good job. For the next 10 years, I think you should be in this for the 10 years, right? Just a minute. I don't know means why it is very slow. Let me just find out. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, yeah. Just a minute.
Hello. So
Yeah, yeah.
myself, Rohan. Hi.
Yeah, tell me.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, you had told me like it's a 12-month free plan, like AWS. I can
Uh,
see only 6 months. Any detail about that?
so I didn't get your question. Please, will you please come
No,
again?
no. Yeah. Actually, you told me there is a 1 year free plan, like
Yeah.
AWS is providing to us.
Right.
So currently, just I have tried to create account, and I'm getting only 6 months. So any
Getting
details
only six
you?
months.
Yes.
How is possible? How is
Yeah.
possible? So, were you using that account earlier?
No, no, no. Just
So,
creating a account.
means
That's it.
AWS is informing that they are providing the 6 months access on this AWS.
There are two plans. One is 6 month free plan, and another paid one.
No,
That's
no,
it. That's the only other
you
plan.
should have chosen a basic plan. If you
Yeah,
choose
yeah.
a basic
Basic only
plan,
free for 6 months.
my God, let me double check because before last week I created an account that was
Hmm.
still available for 1 year. So what
Okay.
change you are saying? So if you have a screenshot, you can just send me the screenshot. Let me just confirm
Sure.
it. So because things can be changed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Let me
Definitely. Yeah. Let me share.
you can share with me.
Sure.
Yeah. Why I'm just logging into this? See, guys, why I logged into my account? See, this account is not a free account. My account is a paid account because for last 2 years I'm using the same account. So can you see this is a region right now I selected, which is Asia Pacific and Mumbai. And you can, if you click on this, you have a multiple regions like North Virginia, Ohio. So left hand side, these are the name of the regions. And right hand side, you can see the code of the regions. Can you see? These are the code of the regions, right? So if you select a Mumbai, it means you are going to create your resources in the. So similarly, you can select any other region to create your resources, right? So this is the way. By the way, I'm just coming here again. Let's say this is the availability zone: AZ1, AZ2, AZ3. So we have 3 availability zones in Mumbai, and these are the code of every availability zone has a code. Let's say AP South 1A, AP South 1B, and AP South 1C. So it continues, only ABC added with the region code, AP South 1A, 1B, and 1C. And every availability zone is a logical group of data centers. So these green color are basically the data centers. So how many data centers are there in one region? This information is not shared. Yeah, now if you see this diagram is not available anywhere. So let me just explain this diagram first of all. This, let's say this is your region. This assume this is Mumbai region, and it's a AP South 1. We have 3 availability zones: AZ1, AZ2, and AZ3, and we have AP South 1A, 1B, and 1C. And within every availability zone, we have a few data centers. Let's say this is one data center, this is second data center, this is a third data center. So I took three data centers in all availability zone to just explain you, right? And if you see these red color boxes, these are very, very important. These are very, very important, right? What are these red color boxes? You can see that these red color boxes are providing the connectivity between data centers. Number one. And these red color boxes are known as edge location. What we call them as? We call them as a edge location, right? Very, very important. But what you do with the edge location? Sometimes these edge locations are also known as a mini data centers, right? These are the mini data centers. And in every edge location, this is the edge location, right? So what this edge location contains? This edge location contains networking devices such as routers, switches, and also containing number of servers to cache the memory for content delivery. Means these edge locations are being used to deliver your content, to distribute your content over the internet. So you can uh, just yeah, you can find these edge locations in all major cities. These edge locations you can find in all major cities. Let's say you can find edge locations in Mumbai, you can find edge locations in Bangalore, you can find in Chennai, you can find in Tokyo, you can find in London, you can find in Brisbane, you can find in Berlin, right? In every major city, you can find this edge location. So this way, this global infrastructure is designed. So more than 700 edge locations are available in AWS. Can you see? Can you imagine? More than 700. And continuously AWS is creating more edge location. So edge location basically provide a gateway to reach AWS. So it decreases the latency. It is also used to deliver your content. So Netflix is using edge locations to deliver the program. You know about the Netflix. What is the Netflix? Netflix is the OTT platform. You generally watch series and movies to for the programs, right? You use Netflix is very popular. So Netflix is using AWS edge locations to distribute program globally. So you see that you never find any latency when you watch Netflix. So we have a service in AWS which is known as a cloud, right? We know it as a CloudFront. So CloudFront is a service which is being used to configure CDN or content distribution, right? So we will see later on in detail course. In the detailed course, I will tell you how you can just configure edge locations to distribute your content, right? So what did you have? You have a region. Within the region, you have availability zone. Within the availability zone, we have data centers. And all these data centers are connected through the edge locations. And edge locations are available in all major cities. These are providing the CDN, content delivery network, to distribute your content. Correct? I think this is the very basic thing I'm telling you. Right. Next is within the let's say from where you can see let's say
Sir,
this
can
is
I have a question?
yes, yes, sir.
So, in India, there is only one region, right?
No, two
It
region,
is in Mumbai.
Hyderabad and Mumbai.
Okay, because I have tried to create account, it is taking nearby location. Like I'm from
No,
Bangalore,
two region.
it's
We
taking
have two
Hyderabad.
regions. See,
Okay,
you can see, we
mm.
have two regions, right? You have not to
Yeah.
worry about
One is in Mumbai and one is in Hyderabad, right?
Hyderabad. See,
Okay.
this is the Mumbai. Hyderabad by
Mhm.
default is not enabled. And please do not see, do you see here? It is
Yes,
saying
yes,
there
I
are
do.
the 7 other regions that are not enabled for this account.
Okay.
So you can click on this to enable the region, but
Mm.
I don't need it for that right now. That's why I'm not enabling it, because the total 37
Okay.
regions are there, right?
Okay.
So I
Okay.
will not recommend to enable, because that you don't need for the practice, right? But if you are
Okay.
in a business, if you want to create your data center, means infrastructure in Hyderabad, you can activate those regions, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Thank
one
you.
more thing, from where I can see availability zone. Do you see? You just write in the search box EC2. EC2 is a service. EC2 is an Elastic Compute Cloud service to create and manage servers. So this is a EC2 dashboard. So this lecture is being recorded. I think you will get a recorded version of this. And here under the setting, sorry, under the setting, we have zones. You click on the zones. We have a various types of zone. We have local zone, wavelength zone, and availability zone, right? So, but I will tell you only about the availability zone right now. Then I will explain what is the local zone and wavelength zone. This is the availability zone. You click on the availability zone. If you click on the availability zone, we have availability zone. It is little slow, I think. Either yeah, this is fine. You're going to see this. See, in the Tokyo, we have 3 availabilities. Do you see? In the Tokyo region and in the Mumbai region, we have 3 availabilities. Do you see? Now, similarly, in the Sydney, we have 3 availability zones. In the Singapore region, we have 3 availability zones. In a central, we have a 3 availability
So
zone.
in Mumbai, we have three locations, right?
3 availabilities.
Okay.
Three availability
Which
zones.
means in different locations, right?
Availability zones are basically the
Mm.
different locations within the region,
Okay. Okay. Got it.
right? Okay, within the region. So this is what we have now. So you can see the long list of availability zones. Now we are going back. Now there is a one more concept is called local zone. What is the local zone? Local zone also is basically the spatial kind of a zone. Let me tell you, for example, For example, let me tell you, this is the Mumbai region, right? You just assume this is Mumbai region, and your company is in Delhi. Your company is in Delhi, and there is a distance between Delhi and Mumbai. It's approximately 1,500 kilometer distance between New Delhi and Mumbai. So this is my company's private data center. This is my company's private data center, and we need to create a AWS means infrastructure on AWS. But Mumbai is a little far actually from New Delhi. So if you create your data center here or infrastructure here in the Mumbai region, you will find a little latency. So what AWS offers you, because New Delhi is a big city, and this is a basically area where you have a large number of IT companies, and this is an industrial hub as well. So AWS is offering a local zone near to Delhi. So instead of creating your infrastructure in a Mumbai region, you can create that infrastructure in AWS in local zone. And you can connect your private data center with the AWS with the least latency. So this is a special kind of a zone. So please don't try the special kind of a zone in a free account, but these are the available, right? So local zones are basically the special kind of a zones. Local zones are created near to the large population or IT or industrial hub. Secondly, there is a one more different type of a zone which is known as a wavelength zone. You know that these days every person is using mobile. In your hand you have a mobile, and everyone has a smartphone. And smartphones contains applications like AstroTalk, like WhatsApp, like anything, right? ABC means banking apps, or many other apps you are using, right? Or you can say Paytm, UPI payment systems, everything you use through your mobile. So it means a new technology is basically launched, which is known as a 5G mobile technology, right? So AWS says that if you need to launch 5G mobile technology, you can use a wavelength. If you are using a special wavelength zones to launch your mobile application, so your smartphone will access it with very low latency, right? So it's a very high, it will perform very high speed. So wavelength zone is only for 5G mobile technology. And then there is a one more thing, direct connect. What is a direct connect? Direct connect, basically uh, basically the service provided by AWS. Let's say your company has your private data center. Let's say this is your company, and your company has a private data center, and your company also is using, let's say, AWS. So some part of your company is running in your private data center, and some part of your business is running on your AWS. Now you need to connect them. If you want to connect them, you need a direct connection, right? You need a direct connection. This is a service provided by AWS. So AWS Direct Connect offers you a dedicated optic fiber line. It is providing you dedicated optic fiber line, which will terminate with your router or gateway, which is connected with the private cloud. And it offers a very dedicated connectivity between AWS and your private cloud. So if you want to make your cloud hybrid, because this is a private cloud and AWS is a public cloud, and you are connecting these two clouds with the help of the direct connect. So what you are making a hybrid cloud, right? You are making a hybrid cloud here. So it means if you are making a hybrid cloud, you need a direct connect, right? So direct connect, and this direct connect is available in 140 cities all over the world. It is available almost in 140 cities. So everywhere it is not available as of now. AWS is increasing actually the number of direct connect. But as of now, at 140 places, direct connect is available. If the direct connect is available in your area, you can make a connection between your private cloud and AWS, right? Otherwise, you can use VPN, site-to-site VPN connectivity to make a connection between the private cloud and the public cloud through the internet, right? This is what we have. So this is the what we discussed here. So we discussed here today, guys. This is your, let's say I was telling you about the shared responsibility model. What is the cloud computing, benefit of cloud computing, AWS overview, global infrastructure, shared responsibility. So this is done. If you have any question, you please let me know. Guys, so how was your experience?
Hi, Sanjay.
Yes.
My name is Alex. I'm joining from the UK.
Okay.
So I know you said that most in my company we use direct connect. So I know you said that if there's no direct connect, we can use site-to-site VPN connect. Is that not? Would that not be too expensive?
See, direct connect is dedicated expensive. VPN is not very expensive as compared to the direct connect. Right. VPN is not very expensive because you will pay only for the VPN service and internet charges. That's all. But in the direct connect, you will pay for that particular lease line, which you are being used to terminate your private cloud. Right. So direct connect is expensive. So VPN is not expensive. Correct?
Okay, but direct connect is more reliable compared to VPN.
Yes. Yes. Direct connect is more safe and reliable. And direct connect can also provide up to 400 Gbps connectivity, and you will get a dedicated connectivity bandwidth.
For direct connect, we still need encryption as well. We must encrypt.
They definitely, obviously, you need encryption.
Okay.
But the
Thank
direct
you.
connect is not using any internet connectivity; it is isolated. Nobody can intervene your connection. Right? Thank you. So, guys, tomorrow we will meet again, same time. I hope you enjoyed the session.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
we
dear.
have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
So
Thank you,
we'll
sir.
meet tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, dear.
Sure.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good
Bye.
night.